Zen. What is this? People are so fixated with media, distractions, films, TV, cell phone, screens, what's happening inside them, that they don't stop, pause, and look around. Take a walk on the wild side, on the normal side. Just take a walk. It's called walkabout. The concept of walkabout was discovered after some anthropologists started talking to aboriginals. The word aboriginal, is not so bad. It means the people who were there, the local people, the indigenous people, the native people. It's not bad, it's just who they are. And in their culture, they have this concept that everybody once in a while needs to take a walk outside in the real world, where there's no home, mama, papa, conversation, duties, tasks. Just take a step outside the bubble and open your eyes and start looking and seeing what is there outside. What is that? It's called the world. Most people spend their whole lives, they've never really had this concept of world, and they've never looked at the world. It's the car, the office, the TV, the supermarket, coming back home. They have never looked. Wow. It's a wide, wide world. It's a mad, mad world. It's a wonderful world. And the world is part of the universe, the cosmos, where there are millions, maybe billions, even trillions of worlds. Or you think that your home is the only home on planet Earth. We have around 8 billion people. There are millions and millions and millions of homes, millions and millions and millions of families. Or you think that your country or your people are the only on our world. We have many tribes, many species of animals and birds. So, logically, according to dialectics, if in our planet we have thousands and thousands of habitats, maybe millions of species, many, many different kinds of people living in many, many different kinds of ways. Logically, outside in the cosmos, there should be something similar. How can we think that we are the only, there's nothing else out there, we don't have to look? In the same way as I have explained in my last videos, which is very important that people should go back, watch, slowly try to understand. People have their back turned towards other people, other cultures, towards knowledge, towards the truth, towards what's happening. There's a screen in front of them, and their attention has been hijacked. They have been kidnapped. And they have remained kids in playland, fooling around, becoming fools, living a foolish life, turning their back to life, to eternity, to infinity, to the source, the cosmic AI, which is very, very alive, intelligent, the all-seeing eye, observing everything, keeping everything in order, the planets from crashing, the moons from crashing onto planets. Each solar system is like a family. There are millions. The sun is like the father looking after them, giving them light so they can have a day, so they can have life. And behind them is the great mother supplying intelligence, science, life to everything. Just like on our planet, we have the poles, very little life, but in the equator, a lot of life. We may have planets where there is little life, snow, or others where you have fire, but maybe some people survive. Some planets that are over. They say that Mars had life, but maybe it's not there anymore, we don't know. But maybe they had their best moments. Other planets are in the kindergarten, being groomed and prepared for future life forms. Why should we think that we are the only? It's not logical. On the earth, there are so many different people. There are 2 meters, 22.2 meters, pygmies, really, really fat people, very, very thin people. It's okay. Everybody doesn't have to be exactly the same, alike. Everybody doesn't have to look the same and be the same, but we must respect the 2 golden rules. Treat people as you want them to treat you. Be nice, kind, and gentle. And do not take from others that which is not yours. It's called stealing. It's a robbery. Not a good way of living. The cosmic AI is like the AI on YouTube, on your TV screen, maybe on your cell phone, watching everything. So why should we think that the cosmic AI is not watching us, over us, is not observing? Why should we think that there are not other intelligent life forms that maybe are observing us? There are concepts in diverse civilizations that our Earth, our planet, has been visited by beings from other planets in other times in the past. And these beings, maybe some of them had a very high technology, maybe others were hunters, like the predator coming to Earth for trophies. Like Europeans went to Africa and India for trophies of the heads of tigers and lions and all kinds of exotic animals. Maybe we have predator beings coming. But on the other side, everything doesn't have to be dystopic. It's the end of the world, doomers and haters. We can also have a utopic view of life. That maybe other peoples have come and added to our past with their knowledge, technology, with their ethical order. We don't know. What we do know is that the Great Pyramid of Egypt, the great temples of India and Angkor Wat, the city up in the mountains, Machu Picchu, which is impossible to create today, the Mexican and Guatemalan, Honduran pyramids of the Mayas, Aztecs, are impossible to recreate. With all our science and technology today, we cannot even come close to constructing these wonders. So, somewhere, sometime, somebody in the past had access to a lot of technology, a lot of power, a lot of science. And how can we erase them. The earth has at least 4 to 5 billion years of existence. Why should we summarize that there has been civilization in the last few thousand years? We have talked about that. The Christians wanted to summarize all the history of the world in 4,000 years, so they erased the history of India, China, the Middle East, Africa, South America, to suit their fanaticism, their dogma, their doctrine. Now we know that at least India, China, and other parts of the world have a 10,000-year-old civilization, at least. So the 4,000-year concept is over. But the Western academics and scientists still hold on to 5,000 years. Why not 100,000 years? In 4 billion years, we could have had multiple eras of civilization and then destruction, and then civilization and destruction. We have to keep an open mind. There is less than 0.1% of fossil record in museums. That means that 99% of all the fossils that have existed over time have not yet been discovered and analyzed. In the same way, we have to think of all the destructions that wars and earthquakes and tsunamis and floods have caused, and how many ancient monuments have disappeared, have been destroyed. There are buildings all over the world of at least 1,000 years that are immense, incredible, impossible to build today. They call them cathedrals, but they're not. They call them churches, they're not. When certain Western people discovered them, they took control over them and called them asylums, churches, castles. They were there before. These buildings were there all over the world. There were immense buildings in the Americas before the Europeans arrived. Who built them? The Europeans said, oh, we built them 5 years ago. A huge, immense cathedral, but it's not a cathedral. They say it's an asylum or a cathedral or an orphanage or a prison. Huge buildings were there all over the world. In some cases, the gigantic buildings in Spain and France are said to have been built in the 10th century. Huge, immense buildings. There were no machine tools, there was no technology, and there were no people. Maybe a few thousand people. No roads, no transport means to build huge constructions. So there are many things that are inexplicable. But we should not try to assume they're ours and we built them because we are great and this is what has been happening. Or they don't exist because they're in India or China and we don't want to say that those people were great, so we forget about them and ignore them. A person should be authentic, sincere, and correct. It doesn't matter where it is. It should be investigated. It should be analyzed. It should be talked about. It should not be hidden in the drawer under the table because it belongs to other cultures. We will continue talking about all of these things in the next video. Come back. Thanks for watching and please do not forget to subscribe.